Hi, this is Sarah from Permanent Record Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/permrecordpodcast.
Thanks, Sarah. This is Brian from the Permanent Record Podcast, and you can find us on the internet at www.permanentrecordpodcast.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter account is at PermRecordPod.
That's all great info. Thanks, Sarah. Here's the Rocket Dudes.
The Blue Zone Podcast Network presents Permanent Record, an in-depth look at the classic albums of the 70s and 80s. Albums that have earned a permanent place of honor both in our hearts and in our record collection.
Hey there, everybody. We are back.
Well, yes, we are. Look at us.
Look at us. Brian and Sarah, the Permanent Record Podcast. We're here. Brand new weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's finally really hot.
Very
at least
hot.
where we are.
Yeah.
Hey, last time we talked to you, we were talking about Howard Jones.
Yeah, we were. Hojo.
We were talking a lot about Howard Jones.
A
and that
very lot.
resulted in us cutting the last episode a little short. So before we get into the rest of the songs on side one, I think each of us, in the time since we recorded that, came up with a little bit of interesting information about Hojo that we said we wanted to mention on the show.
Yeah, that's right. So I found a little article from Smash Hits magazine.
Hey, the aforementioned Smash Hits.
That's right. We've talked about it a little bit. And yeah, I haven't come across an article that an interview that he did for Smash Hits back while he was on tour for the Dream into Action tour.
Pretty groovy.
Yeah, it was cute. It was, very lighthearted article talking about, what's it like on tour. He happened to mention that some of the things that he was doing in his spare time between concerts were water skiing and roller skating. And I think I think the reporter was pretty surprised by both of those choices as well.
I can't really picture him doing that.
I know. And he's like, how hard is it to water ski? He's like, well, the first 10 times you don't get out of the water. You just kind of hang on. And finally you get the hang of it. And then they talked about the roller skating aspect. And he's like, so you just like roller skate down the street? And yeah. Well, what did the kids say when all of a sudden they see you coming towards them on roller skates? And like, it's Howard Jones on roller skates. And he's like, yeah, they're usually pretty surprised because normally people like us, we're in limos and we're trying to, be covert and not be seen. And yeah, I'm just roller skating down the street and usually we stop and have a chat and it's all very nice.
That's so funny.
It's the answer you would expect him to give.
I can't imagine that he would work up any speed doing either one of those sports with all the wind resistance with his hair.
I know. It's a good point. Maybe he wears a hat.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny.
That's pretty hilarious. I found a video of Howard Jones. I was perusing the Soul Train website for some reason. It's a pretty cool website.
I'll bet it is.
There's a lot of neat stuff on there. And they were talking about just days before Dream into Action was released, Howard Jones took part in the 1985 Grammy Awards.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a big synthesizer showdown.
Yes.
And it featured, it had Thomas Dolby.
Yep.
It had Herbie Hancock, Howard Jones, and Stevie Wonder. Who
right.
We talked about in the first episode how Stevie Wonder was a hero of Howard Jones.
Yeah.
One of the players who he really respected.
Yeah.
So I was thinking how cool that must have been for him.
Yeah.
Just, days before what is going to become like his world-conquering album.
Yeah.
He gets a chance to be on stage and play music with Stevie Wonder. Was pretty cool, I imagine, for him. But the video, if you want to see something cool, check it out. The two versions that I saw on YouTube were both pretty bad copies because, it's back from the old days of 1985 quality television. And it was probably on VHS. So the screen wasn't all that clear, but it was cool. Howard was wearing one of his bright yellow suits and up on stage with the other guys every now and again. He was playing a guitar and sometimes he was at a bank of keyboards. But there were so many synthesizers.
Yeah, it must have been crazy.
It would have been nice to get a better look at them.
Yeah,
they were just all sort of look blurry and black. But Thomas Dolby is insane.
Oh yeah,
the way he looks and the way he plays. He has all the little parts like "She blinded me with science." He has that on this little tiny rectangular keyboard that he has strapped to his waist, and he's just pushing buttons on it and acting really strange.
Well.
And Howard Jones played a little bit of "What Is Love."
Oh, okay.
Well, all four of them played it.
Well, yeah. And I think I read a little bit about this performance as well. Thought it was pretty interesting. And I think I read that he had to transition from Herbie Hancock's Rocket into his own song. Did you see anything about that?
No, I think they went from Rocket to Science to
okay.
What Is Love.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, at any rate, he said that the transitioning from between the songs, in the medley was kind of difficult to time and get right.
Well, it was fun, and they looked like they were having a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet.
Doing
yeah.
it. So those are just 2 Hojo tidbits for you as we get ready to finish up side 1 of the 1985 album Dream into Action.
All right. So shall we get right back into it?
All right. So that brings us up to song number 3. We're going to slow it down a little bit, get a little tender here, give us some insight to the human condition with a song that you undoubtedly know, but maybe not this version. It's called No One Is to Blame. Hojo's biggest U.S. pop hit. It hit number 4 on the pop charts and number 1 on the adult contemporary charts, and it hit number 16 in the U.K., but not this version, though.
No,
just want
right.
to repeat that. Not
yeah,
this one.
This is not the version of the song that was eventually released, and it took them basically a year from when the album was released to release this song. The album was released in March of 85, and this came out in March of 86.
And it was re-recorded with Phil Collins on drums.
And backing vocals.
And co-production. And it appeared here in the United States, at least. I'm not sure about the UK. It appeared on an EP called Action Replay.
Right.
And it was that version that became the huge hit. So there's people online, if you go around reading things, there's people online that claim that this original version is the better version. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I wonder how much of that is just due to the fact that it's kind of uncool to say that you like Phil Collins.
Yeah.
At this point. Because the remake of this song is incredible.
It really is.
And the percussion is definitely a highlight of the track. It's part of what makes it so good.
Yeah.
They really work some magic with that song.
I agree. You know I'm not the biggest fan of Phil Collins myself, but I think his presence on this song really does improve the song. It wasn't a bad song to begin with. It's a very nice, very, very pretty and very solid song. But I think the additions of the percussion and the additional harmony really help the song. It definitely makes it more radio friendly. You couldn't have released the song as it is here on the album.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They definitely produced the heck out of it, but it just sounds so good. Mm-hmm. But let's talk more about the one on this album, I guess.
Let's do that.
I'm not used to it. I'm really,
I know.
I'm really not, because as I said, I did not have this album right away, and so I really only heard the one on the radio for the longest time. And I'm still, every time I play this, I'm like, oh, it almost sounds like a demo to me, just based on the differences in how much fuller the single version sounds. But I do appreciate how stripped down it is. I think you get a better sense of the emotion in the song in this version. And his singing style is different too. He goes a lot more into what I call a speaking mode in this version than he does in the single version. Mm-hmm. And I think that feels a little more intimate and personal too. But it also lends more to that demo kind of quality to it.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I heard this song hundreds of times probably because of how much I played this tape. But I still, in my mind, it has been also replaced by the single version. But this version by no means sounds incomplete or inadequate to me up until I heard the newer version.
Yeah.
I love this song. I thought this was a great tune. I didn't sit around wishing there was a better version
no.
of it. So, I'm satisfied, and I consider this to be a highlight of the record. This is a beautiful, beautiful piano song with some wonderful playing. Those simple drums and the kind of ethereal keyboards that come in on the chorus do set a mood that I think works really well.
Yeah.
I like that the keyboard doesn't really play any riffs or anything. It's just sort of...
It's just there kind of to add a little bit of body to the song.
It fits really well. And the vocals, even though he is a little bit more talky than singy, I think they do a service to the mood of the track. I think it's a very controlled performance. This song could easily be taken over the top by somebody.
Sure.
And Howard Jones never turns in a bad vocal, but this one in particular I think was really strong.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is more restrained, and I think that does it's a good way to approach this song, because you could go over the top with it. And even in the re-released version, he sings stronger, but it's still not like as over the top as it could have been.
Yeah. Having said all those good things about the song, the thing that always stood out to me even more so than all of that was the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
I believe these lyrics are probably as close to a perfect song as you can get. They succeed as song and as poetry.
Yes.
And I would love to just quote the entire thing as an example of why it's so good, but everybody knows the words.
I know.
The last verse is so great. I just want to bring everyone's attention to it.
Of course.
You can see the summit, but you can't reach it. It's the last piece of the puzzle, but you just can't make it fit. Doctor says you're cured, but you still feel the pain. Aspirations in the clouds, but your hopes go down the drain. It's so good.
It is, yeah.
And it's, it's about, we want so many things.
Yeah.
There's so much that we as humans want. You want her, she wants you, we want everyone. But as the Stones said, you can't always get what you want.
Yeah, that's right.
And your desires and your attractions are going to go unfulfilled. Deal with it.
Yeah. I love the words to this song. I've always loved the words to this song. I've always been a big fan of using metaphors and analogies in my speaking and writing, so I especially appreciate his use of them here. I think he does a fantastic job of giving you an understanding of the state this particular relationship is in, or even just this, the human condition.
Yeah.
And of course, as an angsty teen, this was wonderful. If you liked someone and you thought maybe they liked you back, and for various reasons, neither of you did anything about it. And oh, wow, this song is just, of course that applies to adults too. But it's just wonderful. It's just a great expression of a human condition that you don't hear in normal pop music.
Right. And this was a song as a youth I thought was great because I could hold it up. As you're a kid, your folks and older people will badmouth your music. And this was one that I could say, hey, check this out. This is like good songwriting. This isn't like flash in the pan stuff. This is a mature songwriting. And another song with really impressive and effective lyrics is the song Last Supper from his Cross That Line album. That one always gets me right there too, just like this one does.
Yeah, I would agree.
Those two are probably the highlights of his career for me in terms of lyrical content.
Yeah. And as far as your case for getting your parents or older folks to like this, I think it worked because, as we mentioned, it was number one on the adult contemporary chart. So,
that's right.
Yeah, it definitely found its home with the older folk of the time.
Okay, so we're up to track number 4, and this is the title track, Dream into Action.
That is yet another different sound than what we've heard so far.
Very different.
My first note on this after that is that this is basically an opportunity for Howard to play with his synthesizers. It's just a whole bunch of different sounds put together.
Yeah, this was, I always thought, his alternative side kind of coming out.
Yeah, this is not as much of a, I don't want to say real song, but it definitely seems like it has more of a basis in the synthesizer world than the acoustic world.
Yep, this is him going against what he always said.
Yeah.
This is more reminiscent of like Kraftwerk. It doesn't sound like Kraftwerk, but it's cold and it's sterile.
Mm-hmm. It is.
The things that Germanic kind of synthesizer philosophy that he said he was against.
Yeah.
That's what this has always reminded me of. And that's also part of what I thought made it so cool when I was a kid, because I like that sound.
Yeah. I feel like this was definitely more of a showcase for the music than the lyrics. The words in this song seem to me more like an afterthought.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't think the message is as obvious as the previous two songs, or it's kind of a loose theme. I don't get that it's a very thoughtful.
I think it's just that people should get along.
Yeah, it's about being tolerant of people, working together, not fighting. And
right.
No, okay.
I like it because different parts of the song remind me of like different groups that I was into at the time. I hear some Construction Time Again.
Okay.
In this song. And the arrangement of the song, and some of the sounds I could picture on Thompson Twins' Quick Step and Sidekick.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because I think that the chords, like right after he says into action and the chorus, they put me in mind of the Thompson Twins song All Fall Out.
Oh, yeah.
Although those sounds are a little more pronounced, but I consider the ones in this song to be whiny and sad. Those are my notes on it, because I've never really been a very big fan of those particular keyboard sounds in this song. I think they're kind of.
I like them.
Yeah, but I think they sound like the Thompson Twins too.
Yeah, and then vocally he does this weird like thing in the background, which sounds a lot to me like a very similar kind of exclamation that Pete Burns did on one of the tracks on Sophisticated Boom Boom.
Okay.
On side 2 of Sophisticated Boom Boom. So there are different sections of this song that really, really appeal to me, and I thought this was a great tune, even though it wasn't a real pop sounding song.
Okay. Yeah, this is my least favorite song on this side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say that. I just don't feel that the song is very cohesive. I mean, it has some very interesting sounds in it, but and it's very untraditional. Maybe that's part of my problem with it. But I think the middle 8 is really weak, which is kind of ironic, I guess, considering the lyrics. You are strong, we are strong, you feel it. It's just like very simple, and I don't know. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, that part is kind of simple, but I like all the electronics, and I like how each section has a different sound. The keyboards are the focus of the verse and the chorus, and then the bridge, everything is overpowered by the percussion, and the only consistent thing throughout the song is the bass. I think it all works, though.
I do like the bass in this song.
Yeah, the bass is cool, but I still, to this day, I don't understand what's happening with the rhythm in that section that I played. The clip that I played where it says where we can end the rule of division, and it goes super fast, and it sounds awkward to me. Like it sounds like they clipped a piece out that shouldn't have been clipped out, and that it threw off the rhythm of the song.
I did not look up the sheet music for this one. He has all his sheet music in PDF form on his website. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's out of print now, but he's had people upload old versions of it and put it out there for people if you want to learn to play the songs. I did not look this one up. I don't know what the time signature is, but it was surprising to me. Previous songs, they were all like 4/4 time.
Well, I think this one is too. Not that I'm any good at this, but I actually tried to count it out in my head, and I could very easily count 1, 2, 3, 4.
And what's interesting though,
but it's just that one segment.
Yeah, there's like little parts. I mean, even though the bass time signature is maybe a very common one, the way the percussion is designed, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds much more complex. So that's probably just another example of that.
I watched a live performance of it from the Dream Into Action tour, and it was kind of interesting. It was a good example of what we said earlier, where he said that doing these songs live was actually doing an approximation of them. Yeah. Didn't sound very similar.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell it was very different.
How did you like it?
I didn't like it as much because in the verses on album, most of the verses are handled by the keyboard. Live, most of the sounds that you hear in the verses are handled by the drummer. He was over there playing a bunch of crazy things. Oh. It was very strange.
Well, that would definitely give it a different feel.
Yeah, it was quite different. I also read a 30-year appreciation of the album.
Okay.
And they talked about this song as that it sounds like a sequel to New Song.
Really?
And I didn't agree with that at all.
No, I can't. No, I don't think. I think New Song's so much better.
New Song is better. I would say that this song it does sound like it could have come from like an alternate world follow-up to Humans Lib if he didn't change, if he didn't get into world music and make the decision to change his sound.
I would buy that, yes.
I think he could have
if he kept going on down the same path that he started on New Song and just had a whole album of that, this would definitely be... Right. Yeah, I get that.
If he stayed as synthesizer as he had been on his debut and didn't add this warmth and organic quality to the music. But he evolved, and I think it's to his benefit that he did. I think it helped him with prolonged chart success to move in the direction that he did.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been a good single.
No, it would not have. Although I always did wish that there was a video for it because I think it would have been a cool video. I think there would have been some cool imagery, or they would have done something awesome.
They really could have, sure. I mean, you could do anything in the video, but yeah, this to me just is a very much an album track, and it's just like a chance for him to play around with his equipment, really.
All right, well, that brings us... You were going to say something?
Well, just one more thing. I do like the end. It's kind of tricky at the end with the dun-dun, and then you hear one set and you think it's done, and then, there's another one.
That's another reason why it would never be on the radio.
And then, there's another one.
Scare the DJs.
Yeah, the DJs could never handle that.
Yep.
But yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to mention about that song.
Okay. Sorry I cut you off.
Oh, no problem.
I was just super excited to get back to the turntable.
All right.
And give you a little sample of song number 5, which is another great single. This one is called Like to Get to Know You Well.
This is another one of those kind of odd songs on the album, just because of how it was released and where it was placed and who got it on which album.
About this.
Yeah, this is another, it has a funny story. It was released on July 30th, 1984 in the UK and September 9th, 1984 in the United States.
Hit number 4 in the UK.
Yeah, it did really well there. I don't know why it didn't do too well in the United States. It only got to number 49. Maybe because it didn't have an album associated with it.
Well, it got to number 49 in the US.
Yeah.
The next year when it was released as the third single off of this album.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't released in 84 here.
Oh, okay. Well, somewhere I saw that it was, but at any rate.
Well, if it was, it didn't even make the top 100.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So this ended up on that 12-inch remix album that you were talking about in the UK. And then when it was released, when Dream Into Action was released, it was added as a bonus track on the CD version. And then in the United States, of course, it shows up on track 5 on the vinyl and cassette.
Right here, we didn't realize it was a previously recorded song, that it wasn't a bonus track here. It was actually part of the album and presented as such.
Right.
And I didn't know that at the time.
No.
I also didn't know that it never broke the top 40 here when it was released as a single, I guess simply because it's such a strong track and that I played the album constantly. In my head all these years, I thought that it peaked around 25 or so. I thought it made it into the top 30.
Yeah.
And it did not. It didn't even make the top 20 or top 40, I mean.
Yeah.
But that's crazy because I remember our local stations playing it. Our top 40 stations would play it.
Yeah. Well, I guess overall, and it's just one of those things that music can be very regional as far as its popularity. And
yeah, we're learning that.
Yeah, very interesting.
I love that when it was first released in 84 in the UK, that it had that picture sleeve that said that it was dedicated to the original spirit of the Olympic Games.
Yeah. And it's an interesting sentiment.
It's an interesting sentiment, but it wasn't an official Olympics song.
No.
I think he was just trying to cash in on the...
Well, maybe, but do you remember what was going on at the time? The 1984 Summer Olympics. Mm-hmm. They were held in Los Angeles, and back in 1980, when the Summer Olympics were held, they were held in Moscow, and the United States and some other countries boycotted them.
Right.
Well, so then in 1984, to get back at us, the Soviet Union and 13 other countries at what was known as the Eastern Bloc, they boycotted our Summer Olympics. So I think... I think when Howard Jones...
Those dirty dogs.
I know. Well, we went out on that because we, won more medals that way.
Yeah.
But when Howard Jones was dedicating this song to the original spirit of the Olympic Games, I think he was making a statement that the Olympics were about people from all over the world coming together to compete and share experiences, and that politics shouldn't enter into it because, they didn't benefit from that. He says, when we can cast away the fear and strip down the barriers. There was the Cold War, remember, and everybody was afraid of each other. So I think there was some philosophical reasoning behind that statement, but I'm sure, he did probably want to cash into.
Yeah, and to prove his point about everyone coming together, there were vocals on the track that he did in French and vocals that he did in German.
Right, yeah, the international version, the international remix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should we mention one more thing about this song in Japan?
Oh yeah. I have that in my notes. I didn't go into. I just said remember to talk about the Japan story.
Yeah. So since we're talking about all the different the different languages and stuff involved.
Yeah. Tell that story.
Yeah. He mentioned this in the concert, but it is also on his website for the single.
Okay, we heard it when we saw him on the Unplugged tour when he was doing all his songs on piano.
Oh, it's such a funny story. So the single cover has the title of the song written in all these different languages. When the single was released in Japan, the title got translated and interpreted as, "I'd like to force myself upon you," which of course...
We're laughing. It's terrible.
It's terrible. It's it's horrible. No one would want to hear that song. It's very controversial. And it's absolutely against the intent of the song. We're trying to talk and come together. And he's like, "I'm forcing myself upon you."
And he and his people were trying to figure out why it wasn't getting any play in Japan.
Yeah, because they were completely appalled, understandably so. So I don't know how they ended up reinterpreting it, but I guess I don't know how it ended up doing in Japan. I never saw.
Yeah.
But hopefully that got cleared up somehow.
So this song has a really great sound to it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it has a reggae feel to it?
I said if I thought that A Life in One Day had a calypso or tropical feel, that was nothing compared to this song. I definitely think it puts me in mind of a song from the islands.
Okay. As a kid, I know I thought that, but listening to it this week, I really wasn't hearing it anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I wasn't hearing it the same way.
I don't know that I would call it straight out reggae, but it definitely does tropical calypso that, with the steel drums.
That's the thing. I don't hear the steel drums in it anymore.
Well,
I hear a keyboard that maybe sort of is supposed to sound like one, maybe, but to me it didn't. And I in the video, I know that
Well, in the UK video.
In the UK video, the guy is walking around carrying one.
Yeah, there's a couple guys playing
when I saw them do it, I was like, no, wait, what part of the song is that supposed to be? I don't know. I guess everyone says it, so it must be true. Yeah. But when I listened to it this week, I wasn't getting that vibe anymore.
I'll have to play it for you offline here and point it out to you.
There was like a single version of this that was different than the album version that had far more background vocals on it by the Aphrodisiac singers. And I can sort of think of that one being more Caribbean flavored. But
yeah, I feel it still. I do. And I like the percussion in it, and I like the drums. Boy, you want to talk about Thompson's Twins. To me, that section, I think it was the same section you played. There's a part at 2:05 that boom, 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 boom. That part, that totally sounds like the Thompson Twins to me.
Yeah, I wrote that section between 2 minutes and 2:08.
Yep, that's it right there.
I love it. It has like a very somber sounding chord that fades out pretty fast, and then it's like 7 seconds of percussion.
Yeah.
With a brief burst of bass in there.
Yeah.
And I really like that section.
Yeah, that just screams Thompson Twins to me.
I really like his vocals in this one too. I like it when he pushes into the high register of his range. I think he sounds really good.
I think he does too. I have a note on that. I think he sings really high in this one, and I think he does a very good job of singing high. He's a very strong singer.
Well, that's good to hear you say, because you're often critical of people when they try to sing high.
Yeah, well, when they're singing falsetto and it's their first album and I don't know what else. But yeah, I think he hits the marks on this one.
And I love listening to like the syncopation of his vocals in this, like when he does things like "Don't want to talk about the way."
Yes,
it sounds so cool.
Yeah, very staccato, punctuated vocals in this. Another very punchy kind of sound to it, and it goes very nicely with those little xylophone type synthesizers in the background. Just very. Yeah, just punchy.
They roll off your tongue really.
Yeah,
really
they
nicely.
do. And he has some really good backing vocals in the chorus. He backs himself up when he says, "Like to get to know," and then "we can be one." Those. I like those little additions in there.
Yeah. So that video, I didn't know until this week that there was that original 1984 video. He just it's him and his band in painfully embarrassing 80s clothes.
Oh my gosh, that outfit.
It was outrageous.
Wow.
But they're just walking through London, like greeting people.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, I never saw this video, and I don't even think I ever saw the other one, but this one is just funny just because of the outfit he's wearing. It's like super baggy and it's all black. And then he has flags on the front and the back of the shirt. It's like, okay, we got it. You're like an international guy.
He looks so funny.
And he has a polka dot scarf tied around his neck.
I was laughing at him and the way he looked, but watching the video, I was getting into the fact he was going up to everyone, like, regardless of age and race and color. That was the point of it.
Yeah.
And like shaking hands with them and hugging them and stuff.
Yeah.
And
being very friendly.
It's super simplistic, and if you like even are like a smidgen cynical, you're gonna roll your eyes at it. But I loved it. I was
it's amusing. It's entertaining. Yeah, and you got the band following along, and then like random people in like international costumes are following him around too. Yep. Like sometimes you see people from maybe Spain and then another country, and they just kind of pop in and out of the picture.
Hojo brings us all together.
Oh, he does indeed.
And then when it was released in the U.S. in '85, a second video was made, and that one was just sort of a straight performance video with a lot of nifty animation added to it.
Yeah, the colors and the sketchiness, kind of like on an AHA video.
So it looked pretty cool, but it wasn't hilariously creative like Life in One Day, and it was like a step down.
It's very standard. Yeah, you could tell they didn't spend as much money on it because he's basically, there's only maybe 2 sets on it. He's standing behind a background, and
I'm sure they spent money on the animation.
Well, sure they did. Yeah, but it just doesn't look it's just not as interesting and fun.
Right, it's not as fun to watch. It looked really good though. But I remember I had it recorded on my 80s video VHS tape that I made off of TV shows, and that was one I didn't go back to all that much.
Yeah, and you can tell they did it later because his hair is much more subdued.
Very subdued.
Yeah,
and
that's disappointing kind of.
No, I was digging it.
Oh, really?
Sometimes the hugeness of his hair and that things can only get better video sort of unnerves me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I actually, that's one of the things I liked about this video, that his hair was way more normal.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I didn't think you'd have a problem with his crazy hair.
Well, it's probably because I'm jealous.
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay.
All right, so we're up to the last song on the record?
Yes, we are.
Well, on side one
anyway, yeah.
And this is another one that was not, this is an album track, one that people aren't going to know as a single, but it is really good. And it's called Assault and Battery. So here's what I was thinking whenever I was getting my notes together for this song.
Okay.
I had 2 sentences to begin my commentary with, and they're both the same sentence.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The first sentence is, what a song to end side 1 with.
Uh-huh.
And then the second sentence is, what a song to end side 1 with. Because this song is incredible. This is an incredible song. It is so awesome.
It is.
But it makes you feel terrible.
It does. You're right. It is.
As like a living creature that lives on our earth.
Yeah.
It shames
Talk about
you
a
and
guilt
makes,
trip.
oh my God.
Yeah, for sure.
For all the talk of Depeche Mode being dark and The Cure being dark,
yeah,
none of their songs have ever affected me or depressed me like this song does.
Yeah, I can see that. What about even on Spirit though? There's some pretty downers on Spirit. But
this song is something else.
Oh, it is. It is something else. It is something else. Yeah, this guy who's been cheering us up and keeping us positive and happy for the first 5 songs on the side of this album, all of a sudden he hits you.
Yep.
Assault and battery.
Yep, he really
does.
It is. Yep, that's right.
He's really hitting you with this awesome music, wonderful, amazing, incredible music, and then but the message that comes along with it, like, oh wow, yeah.
Now, much like songs 1 and 2, Things Can Only Get Better in Life in One Day, you get a nice little introduction to this one again.
Just beautiful little sparkly piano.
Yep, you're listening to it, and you don't know what's coming. Much like those songs, you don't know what's about to hit you.
No.
And then that awesome like bass sound,
yeah,
and drum kicks in. And
yeah.
It's a different story from there on out.
Indeed. Yeah, I totally think this song could be in a movie. I really think this could go in a movie somewhere. It's just
a horrible movie.
Well,
horrible meaning like traumatic.
Yeah, well, take out the words.
Take out the words.
And the music underlying it is just, it's so suspenseful. It builds up just perfectly. I mean, it gets so tense and intense as it goes on. It's just it would be wonderful for a movie.
Yep. What the song is about, we've been alluding to it, but we haven't actually said it. So if you don't know the song, throughout the 4 verses and a bridge, there's no chorus this time around.
Right.
Hojo lays out basically his justification for his vegetarian lifestyle. And listen to the song, man, I can't dispute him. I'm presented with the facts that what happens to other living creatures, so I can have a steak or I can have a burger. And it made me feel terrible, even to this day. I mean, I've heard the song for 30 years.
Yeah.
Anytime I focus on the words, I feel terrible.
Yeah.
And I wish I could make myself stop eating meat, but I don't like salad that much, and vegetables are kind of terrible. You know, one of our best listeners, Philadelphia Phil, I know she's a vegetarian, and kudos to her. I respect, every time I hear this song, I respect the fact that she does that.
I know.
I could eat pizza for probably a couple of weeks straight, and I'd eventually get tired of it.
Pizza, cereal, mac and cheese, that'd be okay.
But the truth is that these are some very affecting and effective lyrics that really make you think.
Yeah. I'm not as familiar with the Smiths song, Meat is Murder, but I think that one's that's another one where it kind of shakes you up. Mm-hmm. But this one I know better, and this one, it is the same effect to me. It's like, like I said, talk about a guilt trip. If you're not already a vegetarian, and if you are, you're probably like, yeah, preach it, man. You know, this is exactly why I am one. And
right.
Yeah.
Now, to get away from the message, the production of the sounds on this song are incredible.
Oh, I agree.
This is definitely a highlight of the album. It's pretty epic. It's not epic in length, or it's not epic like...
Actually, I think this is the longest song on the first side.
Yeah, but it's not excessive. It's not a 6-minute or 7-minute track. And it's not like Bohemian Rhapsody with different sections to it.
No.
But it just has a quality, and it has a sound that elevates it above the 5 pop songs that we heard so far. Like you said earlier, in a movie as an instrumental, it would work. I wrote that if you made this an instrumental and left it on the album to close side 2, it would still work. It would be a fantastic closer.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So that first electronic sound that you hear after the piano intro.
Yeah, the one that kind of just fades in.
That's the bass?
I don't know.
Because if it is, I don't know what it is if it's not the bass, but if it is the bass, it no longer it comes off sounding like a bass guitar. They must be putting it through something.
Yeah.
It sounds really awesome, though.
It does. It's a great effect. And I don't know what they're doing there.
And the sound of it combined with the bass drum throughout that first verse is pretty incredible.
Yeah. The drum beat. I love how it's so insistent throughout the whole song, and I think it kind of puts you in mind of a heartbeat, and I'm sure that's not unintentional.
Oh, hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah, dun, dun, dun. It's very, very measured, and it did remind me of a heartbeat.
Yeah. The kids, the children singing in the bridge there, that's pretty unnerving too.
It is.
Not just the way they sound, but not just the words that they sing, but the way that they sound.
Yeah.
Going to stress again how disconcerting this all is. It's very amazing.
Yeah.
And then something weird that happened last night whenever I was finishing my notes on this, from like 2 minutes and 35 seconds to 2 minutes and 36 or 37 seconds. It's just a really short period of time. As the children stop singing, there's something behind the sound, behind the song, that it sounds like another song. I thought one of my devices in the room was playing a song, and it happened like 3 times. I was listening, it got to that point, I would hear this noise, and I would take out my headphones and say, what's making noise in the room? And there was never anything. And then finally I realized it was in the song. I never noticed it in 30 years.
Wow.
But there's something that sounds totally different than this track.
Okay.
Behind this track.
I'll have
really
to listen
weird.
Carefully for that one.
Check it out. It's like at 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah, I listened to this a lot in my car, and because for whatever reason I had to turn it up a lot to get a lot of the full sound, but maybe I'll have to turn it up a little more or just listen to it in another venue. But
it'll probably be most easy to hear with headphones.
Yeah, all right, I can do that. Boy, I think that this song gets stuck in my head every time I hear it. The piano riff. Yeah. There's a lot of different, the beginning piano riff, and then the one that's like the main one. Those get stuck. And then, unfortunately, the children singing gets stuck in my head, too.
Oh, really? That doesn't ever get stuck in my head, but the main piano riff, bum, 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 that part.
Oh, yeah.
And I hear the screams, the vocals to the fade, and I hear their screams or whatever. That gets stuck in my head, too. But the great thing about that point, when it gets to the point where they're singing the what is the exact lyric, and I forget exactly what I hear their screams. But around 3:13, right before that starts, the full drum track comes in.
Oh yeah.
And you get all the drums that you're going to get, and it's almost like a relief. And I always get the impression that like the first half of the song, with the limited percussion, it was Howard Jones holding up his hand like this to you, saying, "Give me your attention."
Yeah.
And he's lecturing you. And then at this point, the drums kick in, and he lowers his hand and smiles, and he's like, "Okay, you were good. You listened. Now you can have fun."
Okay.
Because from when the drums kick in, even though he's talking about animals screaming, it has no effect on me because the music is so great. And
maybe because there's more going on, and you don't have as much to focus on when he's just singing the words and there's not very much percussion. It's just, okay, you got to listen to it. You have no choice.
But at that point, I'm busy bopping my head, and all my emotions and the shame that were were impacting me.
Don't tell him that. He'll be disappointed.
I'm just digging this electronic music. No, I think he doesn't care. I think he legitimately says, "You've listened to me for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I got my point across.
Yeah.
Here you go."
And I'm sure it will stick with you, and you'll think about it and ponder it later on.
The whole thing doesn't have to be miserable.
No. And it isn't. No.
That's the point.
Yeah. This is a great, great song. I love it a lot, despite the emotional connection. Maybe in spite of it, just because, man, not a whole lot of songs can do that. Get you that worked up, especially one that seems so innocently put together,
Right.
He's not yelling at you.
No, and it never could have been a single,
no,
let alone a hit, but it's still a highlight of the album. I put the song up there with Disintegration from The Cure, Clean from Depeche Mode's Violator, and Seconds by the Human League as just truly, truly essential album cuts. If you only know Howard Jones singles, listen to this song. You have to hear this song. It's one of his best tunes.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think that's an excellent comparison to those other songs, because those are all very, very good songs.
Okay, so that brings us up to the end of side 1.
Wow, we finally made it there, huh?
Finally made it through.
All right.
We might have to break this one up into 2 parts.
Yeah, I think so.
But before we go, I just wanted to mention something that was on our Facebook wall this week. Someone, I don't know if she's a listener or if she just saw the ad at some point, but her name is Dorothy Swanson.
Uh-huh.
And about Howard Jones, she wrote, "Great artist and restaurant proprietor."
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So all week long, I was like, well, I imagine if he has a restaurant, it's a vegetarian restaurant.
Well, I would think so.
But I don't know any, I've never heard of that. I didn't know any details. So I decided to, since I was taking a break today and just laying around, I decided I was going to look that up.
Well, good. Make yourself useful.
Yeah, for once. So I did find out the story of Howard Jones's restaurant, something I never knew about.
Oh, tell us more, please.
Well, unfortunately, I tried to find it through Google. I read 2 different vegetarian magazines, and they didn't exactly give the same information, so I don't know for sure what I'm going to tell you what parts of it are true.
All right.
But in 1987, he opened a vegetarian restaurant in New York called Nowhere.
Nowhere.
One magazine said it was in the East Village.
Okay.
The other magazine said it was in the West Village.
But somewhere in the village.
So it's somewhere in the village.
Maybe it was nowhere.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I hope it wasn't the village from The Prisoner.
Oh, yeah.
Be seeing you. But anyway, they both agreed that it burned down within a year.
Okay. Wherever it ended up, it burned down.
So then one magazine sort of left it there. The other one said they did regroup and rebuild.
Oh.
And it became a popular eatery in New York, and people like Madonna and Lou Reed would often come in.
No way.
I really didn't see that, like, on his webpage, it mentions when he got involved with the restaurant, but it doesn't, like, say now that it's something that he does. Like, there is no real end to the story.
Oh.
I just saw one magazine that he ran it into the 90s.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't see anything on his webpage that implies that he's doing it now. But maybe he is, but I kind of get the sense that he's probably not.
This is very intriguing. Maybe Dorothy Swanson could enlighten us.
Yeah, Dorothy, let us know.
Yeah.
We're not really sure what's happening. I know that if it is open still, anyone who listened to Assault and Battery for the first time based on our recommendation is probably going to be looking for a restaurant with a similar menu to that. So if it is open, they'll probably get a little uptick in business here.
Indeed.
In this week or the week ahead. So that's about it for this week's episode.
All right. Well, it was a good one.
Well, we hope it was.
Well, I thought
it was good.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, if you're talking about Howard Jones and songs like Things Can Only Get Better and Like to Get to Know You Well,
yes.
Can't be all that bad.
That's right.
So we will talk to you in about a week's time, I guess, and we'll flip this record over and talk about side 2.
Ooh, can't wait.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Be seeing you.